The storm had been stalking the valley all evening, thunder pacing back and forth like a restless animal. Evelyn Cross was halfway through locking her back door when the sky split open, not with lightning, but with fire. Something screamed through the clouds. The impact shook the trees behind her isolated house, rattling the windows hard enough to make her gasp. For a long moment, there was only rain and the pounding of her heart. Every instinct told her to stay inside. Every instinct she had learned to ignore told her to go look. She grabbed a flashlight and stepped into the forest. The smell hit her first, burned metal and ozone. Then she saw him. He was half embedded in a crater of torn earth and shattered branches, a massive figure on one knee, one hand braced against the ground. His skin wasn't human, too smooth, faintly luminous beneath the rain, but his face was devastatingly so. Sharp cheekbones, eyes like fractured starlight, blood, glowing faint blue, spilled from a jagged wound across his side. He looked up, and in that instant, Evelyn forgot how to breathe. She took a step back. He took a step forward, and staggered. Before she could react, his hand closed around her wrist. Warm, trembling, real. "Take me to your bed," he rasped, voice rough and foreign. "Before it's too late." Her pulse roared in her ears. "What?" she whispered, mind scrambling through fear, confusion, and something dangerously close to awareness of how close he was. His grip tightened, not threatening, desperate. "Please," he said. "I am dying." She yanked her hand free. "You think this is funny?" His expression flickered, pain, then something like regret. "Not mating," he breathed. "Healing. On my world, the bed is sacred." Thunder cracked overhead. He collapsed to one knee again, blood soaking the leaves. Evelyn swore under her breath. She should have run, called someone, done anything rational. Instead, she stepped forward and slid his arm over her shoulders. He was impossibly heavy, yet strangely weightless at the same time. "Fine," she muttered. "But if this is some kind of nightmare, I want to wake up immediately." He gave a weak, humorless smile. "You are not dreaming, Evelyn Cross." Her stomach dropped. "How do you know my name?" But he had already passed out. Getting him into her house was a miracle fueled by adrenaline and bad decisions. By the time she dragged him into her bedroom, her hands were shaking. She locked the door. Rain battered the windows as she laid him carefully across the bed. The moment his body touched the mattress, something shifted. The air hummed softly, like a held breath. Symbols, light itself, rippled faintly beneath the sheets, pulsing once before fading. Evelyn stumbled back. "What are you?" she whispered. His eyes fluttered open. "Safe," he said. "For now." She cut away his ruined armor with scissors from her sewing kit, trying not to stare at the way his body was built, powerful, sculpted, wrong and beautiful all at once. The wound along his side glowed brighter when she touched it. He hissed, fingers clutching the sheets. "I'm sorry," she said quickly. "Do not stop." Her hands paused. "To heal," he continued, voice strained. "I must not be alone." Something in his tone made heat crawl up her spine. She sat beside him, uncertain, then placed her hand over his, tentative, grounding. The glow softened. His breathing steadied. "That's it," he murmured. "Connection." She swallowed. She was married. Or she had been. The ring sat cold in her pocket, a relic of a life unraveling miles away with a man who hadn't touched her in months. This wasn't supposed to matter. It mattered. "Why were you really here?" she asked quietly. His gaze locked onto hers. "I came for you." Her chest tightened. "You don't even know me." "I know your bloodline," he said. "Your ancestors were never meant to survive." That should have terrified her. Instead, she leaned closer, caught between fear and the strange pull of him. The way the light responded when she was near, the way his hand tightened around hers like he was anchoring himself to existence. Outside, sirens wailed faintly in the distance. He turned his head toward the sound. "They have found me." Her breath caught. "Who?" "Your protectors," he said bitterly. "And your hunters." She didn't let go of his hand. By morning, the storm had passed, but the danger hadn't. Black vehicles crawled the dirt road beyond the trees. Men in dark jackets moved with practiced precision, scanning instruments that clicked and chirped with rising urgency. Evelyn watched from behind the curtain, heart hammering. "They're looking for you." "I know," he replied from the bed. He was stronger now. The glow had receded beneath his skin, but something else had awakened, alert, dangerous. They detected my life signal. She turned. "Government." "Something worse," he said. "They want what is inside you." She laughed shakily. "You keep saying that like it's romantic." "It is not." Silence stretched between them. Then, quietly, "I have lied to you." Her stomach dropped. "About what?" "I was not betrayed by my people," he said. "I defected." The word hung heavy. "I refuse to let your world be harvested." "Harvested? And me?" she asked. "Why me?" He met her eyes, something naked in his gaze. "Because you are the key. And because I hoped you would choose me." Her pulse thundered. She thought of her husband's absence, the slow erosion of trust, the loneliness that had hollowed her out long before an alien crashed into her life. The agents were closer now. She made her choice. "Then get up," she said, offering her hand. "We are not letting them take either of us." His fingers intertwined with hers, intimate, charged. And for the first time, he smiled like someone who believed in salvation. They hid beneath the house, the old storm cellar humming faintly as his energy shield flickered to life. The space was small. Too small. Her back pressed against the wall. His body blocked the only light. Every breath brushed her skin. Every second stretched. "This is a bad idea," she whispered. "Yes," he agreed softly. "But you are still here." His hand lifted, hesitant, then rested against her waist. Not possessive. Asking. She should have said no. Instead, she leaned into him. The connection surged. Not sexual, not exactly, but intimate in a way that made her knees weak. Images flashed between them. His dying world, her ancestors fleeing stars, the quiet ache of choosing someone who could destroy your life simply by existing. His forehead rested against hers. "When this ends," she said, "nothing will ever be the same." "I know," he replied. "That is why it matters." Above them, boots thundered across the floor. Below, two traders held each other like the world might end at any moment. The escape burned the house to the ground. By the time the agents realized what they'd lost, Evelyn and the alien warrior were already gone, slipping between worlds, hunted by Earth and his own people alike. She watched the planet shrink behind them, heart aching. "Do you regret it?" he asked quietly. She thought of her old life. The lies she'd lived. The man she'd left behind without a goodbye. "No," she said. "But I know there's no going back." He took her hand, reverent. "Then lie with me," he said, not as a plea this time, but a promise. "And we will survive together." The stars opened before them. And somewhere, far too late, Earth realized it had lost more than it could ever understand.